The English Premier League is back, and of course it's very late for us when we're saying this because it is match day 5 and we are trying now to start our season, me, Brian and
Enoch.
Yeah, so it's been a while since we had a Premier League video, but of course the Premier League has already played until the match day 5, and we're going to be looking at the big 6. We're going to focus on the big 6 and see their strengths, weaknesses, based on the results that we've seen so far, because shockingly, surprisingly, interestingly, amazingly, or any word that you're going to use, things are shaping very well towards as the season goes by. So, we begin again. Of course, at the top of the Premier League table, we have Liverpool.
Liverpool, we can see how best they started the season well. I think they're still unbeaten at this moment in time. And we've seen a number of signings from them, actually. We've seen they rebuffed their defense with bringing Frimpong after Trent left. We've also seen, I know they brought in a new goalkeeper, Mamadashvili. Yeah. Sorry if I butchered his name.
Yeah.
We saw the Florian Wirtz, who's still slow to pick up the pace in the Premier League. We've seen the likes of Ekitike still coming in. We've seen Isak still coming in. And not forgetting they still have the likes of Salah, the likes of Van Dijk. So they're growing stronger and stronger by the moment.
Every day, every time.
Yeah, every
Do
day.
you think at the moment you would expect them to have 12 points as they do?
Yeah, actually, since they've reinforced their attack, and we've seen Salah now is also more of like a creator at this moment in time. They've brought in one of the best strikers in the league last season,
And he hasn't featured yet.
We still have Ekitike, who was also one of the best forwards in the Bundesliga last season. So much is expected from them. I think they are clear-cut favorites. And we'll see. I'm not like seeing like a two-horse race.
A two-horse race.
Yeah, with Arsenal still in play. It's more like I don't see the other big 6 coming into play so much, because we're seeing they still have gaps to fill within their team.
I think same for me. Liverpool still a surprise for me. I didn't know they would maintain last season's form. They're still doing it. They are grinding results, and that is why champions do. That is what champions do, because just looking at the previous games they've been able to play against Bournemouth, they had late winners. Against Arsenal, they had a late winner. Burnley, still a late winner, but they're still grinding those results, and it's important for them, because when they catch up with their form, it's gonna be maybe hell of a time for other teams. Now, speaking about Liverpool, of course, you mentioned they will be in the title race. It's going to be a two-horse race, and you mentioned Arsenal. They have 9 points at the moment, compared to the perfect. They were supposed to maybe have 12 as well as Liverpool, but of course they lost to Liverpool, and now they have 9 points. What do you think about Arsenal?
For Arsenal, I think that they have the best defense in the league at the moment. Yeah, and it can also be stretched across Europe even. With the likes of they still have Gabriel, they still have Saliba, who are actually better. Good combined centre backs from last season. We've seen Calafiori was injured mostly last season, coming back. We've seen Timber, who is more regular this time. They still have Raya, who's an excellent shot stopper. So they still have a very, very good defense. The only downside is actually the attack, with them missing Saka. And it's very, very intriguing how Arteta is going to work around that to see that their best player comes back, and is he better replaced. But I'm loving their depth with the addition of the likes of Eze. We've seen Madueke coming into play, and we've seen the magnificent also Gyökeres, who actually I was more inclined to see how best he'll feature with the team, with Havertz being more of Arteta preferring more Havertz in that number 9 role.
Sam, Arsenal, I think, best team in terms of defense, best organization, and an impressive thing is the guy they signed from Valencia. I think he's been impressive. He replaced Saliba like nothing happened. And Arsenal are still grinding those results and getting those clean sheets. So I think Arsenal are also in the title favorites, and they're going to go head to head with Liverpool. And for the first time, I agree with you. Now, we have another team which is now currently at number 3, which is in the big 6 again. We have Tottenham Hotspurs, and they have 9 points, same as Arsenal. They've lost once at home, I think, to Bournemouth, but they've won the rest of the games. What do you think about Tottenham?
Tottenham is just Tottenham. Much isn't expected from them again, but I'm happy with the recruitment of Thomas Frank, who is gelling the team well. We also have very, very good signings in the sense of Xavi Simons. We've seen Kudus joining in the team. I know Heung-min Son departed, but they're actually quite a decent team if you look at it. So they still maintain the likes of Van de Ven, who was I think heavily linked with Real Madrid at some point. So it's actually a still proper team, and but I don't see them really pushing for the title. Probably maybe a top 4 finish.
Maybe a top 4 finish. Yeah, I think the major issue here for Tottenham will be when the Champions League begins, like it has. Sometimes when it begins, they get that they don't have maybe a very good depth to back with, so it affects them most of the time. And we'll see how it goes though, because I believe Thomas Frank is a good manager. Although Tottenham is Tottenham can make a good manager be a mediocre manager, but we'll see. I'm also backing them to probably finish in the top 4 or thereabout, or in the top 6, but we'll see when we're ranking it towards the end of the video. Now, at number 5 in the league at the moment, with 8 points to their name, still unbeaten, should be Chelsea, the Blues of London.
Yeah, Chelsea are also actually a decent team, and they are looking like they're finding their feet together with a new manager. I think they have now a proper manager who's actually we've seen them being quite impressive in the Club World Cup.
Yep.
Yeah, they're also having new players coming in. They just signed Garnacho. They've brought in other legs of Gittens, but they still have quite a stacked team. It's also, I think, it will be very intriguing seeing how Enzo Maresca will actually have now his straight first 11.
Yeah, I think Chelsea as a side, I'm not very much impressed with them because they still have a young squad. Sometimes they make mistakes, and I'm basing this on a few games that they've not been able to win. Those were winnable fixtures, especially the last game they played against Brentford. A team that wants to compete for the Premier League or wants to contend for the Premier League will make sure they win those kinds of games. You can't let a very late equalizer like that to happen. So I still feel like their young squad,
they need more leadership.
Yeah, they need more leadership because it's just James and probably Aderabio or Aderabioyo. Who else? They don't have, maybe Caicedo. And I'm very impressed with Caicedo as well because he's slotted into that midfield and is doing wonders for Chelsea. So I personally think they might pretend to contend for the title, but I don't think they are among the favorites. Although top 4 finish could be guaranteed for them based on the squad depth that they have. But we'll see as we rank them towards the end of this video, as I said. At number 8, surprisingly, one of the teams that made a lot of strengthening in the January transfer window last season and in the summer transfer window by the name of Pep's Manchester City. They sit 8th at the moment with 6 points and having played 4 games. Of course, lost 2, won 2. And that is your team.
Yeah, that's my team. That's my team. And I think City is still rebuilding from management. We have Hugo Viana who came in after Siki departed, the director of football.
Yeah.
And I think the only key areas that need to be addressed are still, it's the defense. I'm happy with what he's doing at the moment, clearing deadwood players. We've seen Gundogan departing. We've seen also Akanji going out on loan. Yeah, we've seen Ederson going. Like the key members for that are treble winning side. And now we're having one of the best shot, if not the best shot stopper in the world at the moment, Donnarumma. But we still need to see a lot of improvement in the defensive positions. Diaz, he looks like he's declined. We've seen Gvardiol, who was actually superb last season, but he's been facing some niggles in injuries. We've seen Ake, who's always injured. We've seen Stones, who is always injured, still in the team. They don't have an out-and-out right back. They didn't replace Kyle Walker properly. Left back, we've a good addition with Ichnouri, but at the moment he's still injured. We still need key areas addressed there. But I'm happy with midfield. Rodri coming back. We've seen Reinders, who brought in some good legs in the midfield. They still have the legs of Bernardo's leadership, although he's not the same player physically as the way he was maybe 1, 2, 3 years ago. And they also brought in creativeness with the likes of Chucky after KDB departed, and also seeing Haaland being Haaland. So for them, I think it's a long a long run to chasing for the title. I just see them pushing for a good top 4 finish.
Like
I don't think they are ready at the moment.
For the second time again, I think I agree with you, and being brutally honest with your team. Credits, because I'm not used to this. I think you're now coming to yourself. I mean, you're accepting what's there. And I watched the first game for Manchester City this season, and I thought, bro, we're gonna have like a fantastic season. Like Manchester City are gonna have a fantastic season because they won 4-0. And then surprisingly, against Tottenham, against Brighton, they just fell off and lost the game. So I think there's elements of some missing pieces in that team. They need to play together more often. Chucky needs to be like maybe a regular player, regular starter to the team. Doku needs to step up a bit more. Haaland is doing his thing. Mamouche needs to keep playing like he did since he came in January. And the good thing is you've strengthened the goalkeeping side because Donnarumma is a top keeper. So I feel like Man City will still be a force you can't sleep on. Especially when it has to do with Pep being their manager, because you can never sleep on them. So they are still over there. Maybe after Liverpool and Arsenal, they could be the best team with Chelsea, trying to push for it. And we'll see how we rank them towards the end of the video. And now we have another team, right close to where they were last season. At number 14, the Reds of Manchester sit with 4 points, having just won against the recently promoted Burnley.
And they celebrated like it was a Club World Cup final.
We needed it. Imagine without that win. Imagine without that win.
So what's wrong with your team up until now?
I think we have a squad of good players. I think so. We have good players, because individually, when you actually rank Manchester United's players compared to the rest of the big teams starting 11, you'll find that we have one-on-one players with good quality. But when it comes to team, we are broken. So the system is still not working. Amorim said will not change it, and I back him not to change it until it works, because sometimes you need that. You need to start from the very beginnings, humble beginnings, pass the ball, cross the ball, like the basics. So I fear for ourselves though, because I think some of the players that are in this team are not suited to still play this in this system. And somehow the manager also puts some of the players out of position. For example, we have the popular example, Bruno Fernandes. We've seen Bruno Fernandes as a top scoring midfielder from the attacking position, but he's now been deployed back deep in the midfield, and it's chaotic to see. When you speak about the defense, if it were for me, I don't think Luke Shaw is starting at LCB. He's a good player, but he actually himself, he agreed. He accepted in a certain interview that my best position is left back or left wing. So I think, or left wing back. So I think the manager is trying to stick to some of his philosophy and strategy, but he's still putting players in the wrong positions in his system, and that's what is affecting us. So I'm not ashamed to say we might not finish in the top
10.
You said it. I didn't say it. But it is what it is. We're still rebuilding. I'm sure at some point things will turn around, but I'm just not sure how soon.
Or when.
All right. So I think that is our overview of the top 6. Now we go to ranking of what we think will be towards the end of the season. Because we are late with this season.
Yeah, true.
The season began long ago. We've not been on the show to shoot anything. So who do you think will finish first? Just rank them.
You know, I'd still say I see Liverpool still defending the title, but I think it will be narrow. It will be much closer than it was last season, with Arsenal being very close. I think there will just be like 1 or 2 point difference. Because I see Arsenal being stronger only if they address their attacking areas, because defensively they are so robust. And they had to penetrate. But if they address their attacking areas, they can actually go to toe to toe with Liverpool.
So
I see Liverpool for the title. I see Arsenal coming in at second. I feel I see City still coming in at third, despite not starting the season well. I think they'll find their ground eventually, with Pep being Pep. And fourth finish of Chelsea. That's my top 4.
That's your top 4.
Yeah.
Where will Tottenham and Man United finish?
Tottenham will still, I see them still finishing just right below, just around 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
How about your local rival?
My local rivals, I don't know. They'll just fight off with Burnley down there.
Well, fair enough. With the results that we already have, it's easy to see that Manchester United might not even make it to the top 10. But maybe something can change along the way. You know, football is a very interesting game. And as a fan, especially, who believes in miracles and changes, I think maybe something can happen. But I'll go Liverpool, yes. And then going toe-to-toe with Arsenal. I think either or.
Yeah.
For these two, we agree. And then for the third position, I think Man City have been consistent, especially when it comes to finishing the league. We are very early in the league, but they know how to do it. So third, and if any of those two teams that I mentioned will come first and second, will slack behind, Manchester City might finish second. And then, of course, Chelsea fourth. So I think I'm agreeing with you. But for Tottenham, could be 6th or 7th. And then for Man United, of course, we wait for miracles. Maybe, I don't know what's going to happen to us. But yeah, that is just the overview of the last few match days that we have already witnessed so far. And we're going to be looking at more as match days go by. So,
who will be the top scorer?
Top scorer, bro, we already have Haaland in that driving seat. So I don't think there's any other player who will contest, although Isak has not started, but I think in that Liverpool setting, he can score a number of goals as well. And Gyökeres, when Arsenal starts giving him full service, he might be one of those to reckon with as well. So, yeah, maybe clean sheets?
Clean sheets still Arsenal.
Still Arsenal?
Yeah.
And Arsenal is dominating everywhere.
Everywhere.
Anyway, that is it. Maybe you can also let us know in the comment section what you think about what we've discussed so far. So my name is Brian.
My name is Enoch.
And this is Getting Sports.